What's up, everybody? Weston here with the Hidden Gibbon, back with another Daily Deck Tech video. And today we're coming at you with a Voltron commander. But before we go into that, if you like my Daily Deck Techs, Magic for the Working Class, Historical Commander, discussion, anything else in between, feel free to subscribe. Only if you feel I've earned it. And if you'd like to see your commander made into a deck tech, drop it in the comments down below or fill out the Google form in the video description. Now, without further ado, let's get straight into it, shall we? So today I chose the mighty Thor Jane Foster because I plan on building this in paper as well. And, you know, building so many Voltron-y decks lately, which I usually don't build a whole lot of Voltron. But lately for deck techs, I've had to do quite a few, both for viewer requests and for commanders I picked out. Voltron's not cheap. For if you want it to be pretty powerful. So it's a little bit higher budget one. I promise I'll do some that are a little bit lower budget here. Plus we have the working class stuff. But the mighty Thor Jane Foster is a 3/3 for 3. Flying, and whenever the mighty Thor attacks, exile up to one target non-token artifact or creature. Then return that card to the battlefield tapped under its owner's control. That's not bad. And then whenever an equipment you control enters, draw a card. So, like, blinking our equipment doesn't seem like the worst ever. So, you know, we're going to try to blink some fancy pants equipment and sometimes some creatures and do some interesting things with that. 1 second, friends. And I'm back. Just had to get some more milk for my daughter. All right. So for our creature package today, we have kind of a variety and a mix. Leading off, we have Arden, Intrepid Archaeologist. At the beginning of combat on your turn, you can attach any number of R's and equipment you control to target permanent or player. We're going to be attaching them to the mighty Thor because we want to smash. Yeah. We have Cloud, Midgar Mercenary. When he enters, search your library for an equipment card, reveal it, and put it into your hand. Yeah, you know, attack with your almighty Thor, blink Cloud to get lots and lots of equipment. And then as long as Cloud is equipped, if an ability of Cloud or an equipment attached to it triggers, that ability triggers an additional time. There we go. We do have Codsworth. Codsworth is like $33. This is an example of kind of the problem with Universes Beyond, because they have to be able to create this card as a Universes Within reprint. They can't do it as Codsworth, so they'll have to find a generic card and do it. Luckily, the text on the card will allow them to do that, right, as a commander card, but it is pretty expensive. It needs some form of print of some kind. Commander creatures you control have Ward 2. You can add double white to spend on RR equipment spells. We have equipment spells in the deck. Attach target RR equipment you control to target creature you control. Activate only as a sorcery. We have Danitha. Of course, you know her, you love her. She's 2/2 for 3. First strike, vigilance, lifelink, aura, and equipment spells you cast cost 1 less to cast. We have Displacer Kitten. Actually, this is the version of Displacer Kitten I got. I got this in my mystery booster. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, exile up to one target non-land permanent you control, then return that card to the battlefield under its owner's control. We do have a few cards in here that take advantage of the small blink mechanic, so we may as well have an additional way to blink those things. We have Ethereum Sculptor, Foundry Inspector, and where is it? Voyage Quick Welder to cheapen our artifact costs, right? Which help us out with our equipment, and not just our equipment either, right? Codsworth is an artifact. Herbie, which when it enters, you draw a card and you put a land onto the battlefield tapped, is an artifact. We have Riptide Gearhulk, when we have Sad Robot and Thought Monitor as well as Phyrexian Metamorph. So those are that package. We have Forensic Gadgeteer. Whenever you cast an artifact spell, you investigate, so you make a clue. And activated abilities of artifacts you control cost 1 less to activate. That's really good for equipment, since equipments are... The reason I don't have a whole lot of Voltron decks is because, for me, equipments often feel bad. They feel like a lot of mana to just start getting the value out of them. And this helps out by cheapening the cost to equip. We have Halvar, God of Battle. Creatures you control that are enchanted or equipped have double strike. And at the beginning of each combat, you may attach target or equipment attached to a creature you control to another target creature you control. You can also play it as the Sword of Realms, which is +2/+0 and Vigilance. And whenever the equipped creature dies, return it to its owner's hand. We have Loki, God of Mischief. Whenever a player or permanent becomes the target of an ability you control, draw a card. This ability triggers only once each turn. That's probably... yesterday I criticized Wizards for always doing the once per turn, but in this instance it's probably pretty good. We don't need another Nadu on our hands. Lauren of the Third Path. When she enters, destroy target artifact or up to one target artifact or enchantment. Blink this to have lots of value. Plus, you can use it as a politics card with you and target opponent each draw a card. We do have Muldrifter and Thought Monitor as creature-based draw, which you can blink with your Almighty Thor to draw more cards. Phyrexian Metamorph, I mentioned, it's one of my favorite cards of all time. It's a clone, but you can have it enter as an artifact or a creature, which is pretty strong. Pure Steel Paladin, an absolute classic. Whenever an equipment you control enters, you can draw a card. And as long as you have Metalcraft, which is 3 or more artifacts, you equip spells or equipment you control have equipped 0, as long as you can have those conditions met. The Riptide Gearhulk, which I mentioned, has Prowess, Double Strike. And whenever this creature enters, for each opponent, put up to 1 target non-land permanent that player controls onto their library, 3rd from the top. This, if you can blink this a few different times, it's pretty sick. I used to have a blink deck put together in paper where I ran this, and I took it apart because people did not like having literally everything of theirs just put 3rd from the top all the time. I mentioned Sad Robot. When he enters, you get a land. When he dies, you draw a card. Srom. Whenever you cast an Aura, equipment, or vehicle, draw a card. So you get card advantage off of our equipment today. Stoneforge Mystic. When it enters, you search your library for an equipment card, put it into your hand, and then you can pay 2, tap it to put an equipment from your hand onto the battlefield. Blink this with Almighty Thor to get, much like Cloud, get tons of artifacts. And Urza. Yeah, I'm that guy. I'm going to run this card. If they're not going to make it a game changer, that's like saying, well, nukes are okay. Our opponents have nukes. We're not going to have nukes, friends. We're going to have nukes in this deck. So, Urza Lord High Artificer, when it enters, you get the Construct, which alone is really good with Jane Foster. But also, you can tap those equipment then to add a blue. You can also pay 5, shuffle your library, exile the top card, and then until end of turn, you can play that card without paying its mana cost. Really good. For sorceries, we have ourselves Avatar's Wrath. This card is good. Play this card. Seriously, play this card. Choose up to 1 target creature. Then airbend all other creatures. Until your next turn, your opponents can't cast spells from anywhere other than their hands, and you exile the spell. Open the armory, open the armory, searches for an Aura equipment, puts it in your hand. Sabine's Reclamation. People are going to blow up your equipment. It happens to every Voltron deck. It's just the way of life. You'll return a permanent card with mana value 3 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. If it was cast from the graveyard, you can copy the spell with new targets. Single combat. Each player chooses a creature or planeswalker they control, sacrifices the rest. So, it's fine to just keep Jane Foster as your one out there and then have her smash. Players can't cast creature or planeswalker spells until the end of your next turn. Pretty good. Steel Shaper's Gift searches, much like Open the Armory, it searches for an equipment card and then puts it into your hand. We have Supreme Verdict. I actually really like this art on Supreme Verdict. It reminds me of an old poster for Godzilla movies, and I love Godzilla. It's just a wrath. It destroys all creatures and can't be countered. Thoughtcast, draw 2 cards, affinity for artifacts. Instants. Now, normally I'm not a huge counter magic fan, but our entire instant package today, I believe, yes, our entire instant package today is removal or counter magic, which is in a way spell removal. So for the counter magic, we have Arcane Denial, Counterspell, Negate, and Dovin's Veto. And then for the removal package, we have Rapid Hybridization, Pongify, Generous Gift, Stroke of Midnight, Swords to Plowshares, Path to Exile, Erode, and Dispatch, which is tap a creature, but if you have Metalcraft, it exiles the creature instead. Erode, of course, is the new sort of like path/plows effect from Secrets of Strixhaven. Destroy target creature or planeswalker, and its controller can search for a basic land card and put it on the battlefield tapped. Yep, there you go. Artifacts. Here's where we get into the meat and potatoes of the deck, right? Well, the creatures are the meat. This is the potatoes. So we have some special fancy artifacts that we'll get through here that will make a lot of benefit off of our almighty Thor. The first being Assassin Gauntlet. It has, when it enters the battlefield, attach it up to one target creature you control, tap all creatures target opponent control. That's really good because you're going to attack with almighty Thor, and before blockers go off, you can blink your Gauntlet, which then comes back and then equips to your almighty Thor, and you can tap all of the creatures that whatever opponent you're attacking would have. And equipped creatures get +1/+1, and has, whenever this creature deals combat damage to a player, you get to loot, which is draw 1, discard 1. A solid card all around, and for 69 cents, nice. Can't beat that deal. We have Basilisk Scholar, Death Touch, Lifelink. That's pretty simple. Giving a creature Death Touch is pretty great. I also like how there's Bubbling Beebles in the background. Or I think those are Bubbling Beebles. Not sure, but it looks like Bubbling Beebles. Then we have a Bio-Organic Carapace. So this is another one of those that has an ETB effect. When it enters, attach it to target creature you control. Equipped creature gets +2/+2, and has, whenever this creature deals combat damage to a player, draw a card for each modified creature you control. This encourages you to equip several different creatures with your equipment. Blackblade Reforged, +1/+1 for each land, and equip legendary creature 3. Hammer of Nizan. When it or another equipment you control enters, you may attach that equipment to target creature you control. This will help you overall. Equipped creature gets +2/+0 indestructible. Put it on Thor and start, smashing. We have Buster Sword. Equipped creature gets +3/+2. Whenever the equipped creature deals combat damage to a player, draw a card. Then you may cast a spell from your hand with mana value less than or equal to the damage without paying its mana cost. This card's really good. I got the alternate art, like Japanese foil version of it, and it is sweet. Out of the one pack of Final Fantasy that I opened. Celestial Armor, Flash, and when this equipment enters, attach it to target creature you control. That creature gains hexproof and indestructible until end of turn, which is always good. Very good at protecting your Thor. Champion's Helm. Equipped creature gets +2/+2 as long as the equipped creature is legendary. It has hexproof. It's a really cheap way, like Swiftfoot Boots, to protect your commander. We have Shadow Spear. Equipped creature gets +1/+1 and has trample and lifelink. And you can pay 1 permanent to your opponent's control, lose hexproof and indestructible. Don't discount that because of how proliferated hexproof is these days, which will allow your removal package to then start getting some of the stuff. Genji Gloves. Equipped creature has double strike, and whenever equipped creature attacks, if it's the first combat, you get another combat. Masterwork of Ingenuity enters the copy of an equipment. Mithril Coat, Flash, indestructible. Attach it when it enters, attach it to a legendary creature. The equipped creature is indestructible. Panharmonicon. If an artifact or creature entering causes a triggered ability or a permanent you control to trigger, triggers an additional time, which is pretty good overall. Pre-war Formal Wear. When it enters, return target creature card with mana value 3 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield, and attach Pre-war Formal Wear to it. That's pretty good if you blink this after somebody's wrathed away all of your little dorky dudes that we have in here, because a whole bunch of them are 3 or less. Use it to just start getting back all of your stuff. It's fantastic and delicious, friends. Simulacrum Synthesizer. Since we do have quite a few equipment in here and have ways to blink our artifacts, we may as well play this, which is whenever another artifact you control with mana value 3 or greater enters, create a construct. There you go. Soul Ring is in here to help us out with mana. Swiftfoot Boots for protection. And then Sword of Hearth and Home, which Gets +2/+2 pro green per white, and whenever equipped creature deals combat damage to a player, exile up to one target creature you control. Then search your library for a basic land card, put both onto the battlefield under your control, then shuffle. So it's ramp and blink. It's pretty fun. Enchantments, I'm only running 2. Sigarda's Aid and Forge Anew. Forge Anew, when it enters, return to your equipment card from your graveyard to the battlefield. And as long as it's your turn, you may activate equip abilities as instants. And you may pay 0 to pay the equip cost of the first equipment ability you activate during each of your turns. Sigarda's Aid lets you play equipment in Arz's Flash, and whenever an equipment enters under your control, you can attach it to a creature. For our lands, we have Academy Ruins, helps us get back our stuff. Rogue's Passage, because it is a deck built by me, and therefore will have that. Urza's Saga, to help us tutor up either Soul Ring or some of the other one-drop artifacts we have. Uthros, which, of course, if you station it enough, it becomes a Tolarian Academy. And Adagia. I love this land a lot, and I don't think it gets enough love. But when you station it to 12, you can pay 4 and create a token that's a copy of target artifact or enchantment you control, except it's legendary. Activate only as a sorcery, which is pretty sweet because, making copies of your swords or your pre-war formal wear, or your Buster Sword, etc. all really, well, not Buster Sword because that's legendary. Well, no, it's not. Never mind. Buster Sword. Wow, they didn't make the Buster Sword legendary? That seems like a error. But yeah, there you go. That is the build. Let me know what you think of the build and what you would have done differently. And now for the playtesting. Let's see if Moxfield screws me today. Oh, baby, we did it. We got a Soul Ring in an opening hand. That never happens. We're going to draw. As you can see, Moxfield be struggling today. I'm going to drop down Mystic Gate, and I'm going to drop down a Soul Ring. We'll put our Soul Ring over here. I am going to play an island. I'm gonna play the Mighty Thor on turn 2. There we go. Next turn. Ho, ho, ho. We have 2 or more other lands, so we play Deserted Beach. That's pretty good. I am actually going to we're gonna go ahead and play Assassin's Gauntlet, and it's gonna attach to the Mighty Thor, which will give her +1/+1, so she's a 4/4 flying. Again, if she connects, it will let us loot, and we're gonna tap all creatures target opponent controls, and then what we're going to do is we're gonna swing with the Almighty Thor. This blinks. This comes back. Right? Blinks and comes back. And then we connect. So we will draw a card. I'm actually going to pitch the... I'm going to pitch the Plains. Alright. There we go. And do we have anything we can play for 2? No. But we're going to say on an opponent's turn, we're going to erode somebody's thing. You know what? Actually, we're gonna take backsies. We're gonna actually steal Shaper's Gift on our turn. We're gonna view our library. I can search for an equipment. Which equipment do I want? I actually think I want Genji gloves. Maybe. It's really... Actually, we want protection. We'll grab Champion Sound. Close and shuffle. Alright. Next turn. Captain America throws a mighty shield. We are going to play the Champion Sound. We're going to play the Path of Ancestry. Go ahead and equip the Champion Sound. So now, Hexproof +2/+2. Go ahead and attack once again. Blinking this, comes back. We connect, we draw. I can't really use that. I'm going to pitch the counter spell. I probably wouldn't do that if I wasn't goldfishing, but you know. All right, we draw. We're going to drop an island. All right, we're going to drop Codsworth. So Codsworth's in here. Actually, we're going to do this differently. We're going to play Foundry Inspector. Then we're going to tap 2 for Codsworth. And then, of course, we're going to do our thing. We're going to draw. I'm going to pitch a road. Next turn. All right. I'm going to play Forensic Investigator. You kind of see how the deck goes. You start smashing with equipment. But let me know what you think in the comments down below. As always, I'm Weston with the Hidden Gibbon, and I hope you all have a wonderful day.